Hello, my name is Koma McDowell. I am a 15-year triple negative inflammatory breast cancer survivor. Today, I'm proud to share with you my book, Silver Lining: Cancer Was the Best Worst Thing That Ever Happened to Me. And the excerpt that I will share with you is actually the last chapter in the book. So for those of you who like to jump to the end to see what the book is about, I'm giving it to you right here. The title is called The Real Fight. When our men lose their hope of a future and purpose, you'll surely watch them die a slow death in front of you. That is an opening quote by Nan Jones, The Perils of a Pastor's Wife. And here's the chapter. I have found that the fight against cancer, in many cases, is surviving the treatment process. Many men and women are plagued with the debt of cancer. Yet, in this great country of ours, one would think there is more help for people during such a challenging time. With all of the hundreds and thousands of walks, runs, marathons, and a-thons that happen and take place from sea to shiny sea, you would think a patient or a family could get help through the treatment process without liquidating their savings. Unfortunately, as a survivor, I learned that that is not the case. Corporations tend to focus on research. Cancer research is the drive for the larger walks, runs, and you name it, a-thons. There is money to be raised from those directly and indirectly impacted by cancer, and again, they seek out research as the means to make a difference in their community. However, corporations and large companies that host successful walks by pulling at the hearts of those who want to support the fight against cancer don't realize that cancer research is supported by billions of dollars. Discoveries are being made, doctors are receiving great salaries, institutions are building great buildings, large organizations, national organizations are hiring more staff and acquiring more overhead in the name of cancer. But with all due deference, who is helping the family, or more importantly, the patient in treatment? When you look at all the money generated in the name of cancer, how much of it offers direct support to patients? So many patients miss appointments for treatment because they cannot afford to go and to get, because they cannot afford to get to and from the clinic. Many patients choose to forego treatment because they can't afford copays. Thousands of patients have to rob Peter to pay Paul to survive the day-to-day challenges of living through treatment. Yet the question remains, who helps the patient and the family? In 2005, I started a nonprofit organization, Koma Saray Inflammatory Breast Cancer Foundation, on a mission to fill the gap in the fight against cancer. From the moment we opened our doors to service clients, I quickly learned that the need was even greater than I could have ever imagined. Women chose not to have treatment because they realized how much it cost, and they did not want to leave their family with the debt of cancer. Mothers have to choose between feeding their kids or paying copays for treatment. Parents of children with cancer have to quit their jobs to be by their child's side while struggling to maintain a household during the process. It is unbelievable how much money is raised in the name of cancer. However, it is daunting how hundreds and thousands of families like these never see a dime of it during their battle. Small grassroots organizations funding patients in treatment are like small fish in a big pond. The money they are able to raise isn't close to the national organization fundraising power. Sadly, the little money that is granted for direct client services just touches the tip of the iceberg. So many corporations have restricted their funding to cancer research, which leads to a tangible outcome and a few great perks. Donors want their name associated with a drug that impacts cancer in a positive way, or produces procedures that prove to be successful. Donors love seeing their name on buildings as an added bonus for their donation. But what about saving one life at a time? What about helping to make sure a patient survives long enough to receive the miracle drug and doesn't stop the process because he or she can't afford it? How about sustaining a family, which could be their own employee during the process so that they don't have to liquidate their life savings to beat cancer? When I look at the fight against cancer through this lens, it appears cancer is winning. I could only imagine what the fight would look like if 10 cents or even 5 cents of every dollar raised for research from walks, marathons, major fundraising events, and corporate sponsorship was donated to service organizations in the trenches with patients. This assistance would allow for the small fish to combat the challenges of treatment with families in the fight of their lives. I guarantee patients and families' stress levels would drop, survival rates would increase, prognosis would improve, and personal outlook would also improve. Such funding would yield hope and give patients a fighting chance. The scales would be tipped in their favor, and the belief of having children, watching their children grow old, seeing grandchildren, or witnessing a child getting married could become a reality. When managing Coma-Sere Inflammatory Breast Cancer Foundation, I often sat at my desk and cried for those patients I had to turn away because the funds were exhausted. As they pleaded on the phone for help because they had no one else to help them, nowhere to go, and they couldn't believe they were going to be kicked out onto the streets all because they got cancer. As sad as that might sound, the worst part of the call was when they said, I have supported Cancer Walks for years, and now that I need help, no one's able to help me. Sadly, I heard this too often, and my heart broke every time. Cancerville is real in so many ways, and many patients and families reside there as they endure treatment. My hope is to shed light on the needs of the cancer world beyond research, to encourage donors to not only support research, but see the epidemic one person at a time. What good is research if patients give up before research can be brought to their aid? Sadly, there is no shortage of cancer patients, but those who are unable to afford the treatment process should not be collateral damage. Why wait for someone you love or even you to be in this position? What if we assisted with lodging for families in treatment? Lodging that would allow patients to be near the cancer treatment centers. Lodging that would allow families to stay for free or at a minimal cost with their loved ones. What if we were able to assist with meals and transportation during their journey, knowing it's the little things that matter most? What if we just did something to minimize the collateral damage? Imagine what we could do together. Christian, my son, is 10 years old, well, now 11 years old, and his mere existence represents life beyond treatment. To date, he has not demonstrated any side effects to my treatment, but Christian is here because Charles and I did not give up, and we had a support system that powered us through. There has to be a better way to give families in treatment a fighting chance to survive. We live the impossible. He is the impossible. And we know as a family that anything is possible. As a survivor of 15 years, my book details my story from the last 15 years. And it also is a book of hope to inspire others to do something to help those who are in treatment so that they can survive another day. My book is Silver Lining: Cancer Was the Best Worst Thing That Ever Happened to Me. And you can purchase it on my website at comamcdowell.com. Thank you.